Hello everybody, my name is Sirewolf and welcome to Seul, Alone. I'm not sure if that actually means alone or if that's just a subtitle or what, but this one's apparently called The Entree. I'm not sure if there's other games of this series, but because it does say previous Seul here, so I'm not sure what that means exactly. Anyways, I was emailed about this game a while back, maybe a good 2 weeks ago, and between the move and having to get everything settled, it's just been really on the back burner and slightly forgotten about it, but I remembered it again, so here I am playing it. Sorry devs for getting to it very late. But anyways, let's get into the game. This one is really weird, I believe. Because it said that it had a warning at the beginning of the well, not at the beginning of the game, but on the game page, which says, if I can scroll to it, okay, this wasn't work. What the fuck? God damn it! I accidentally opened up another app. Whoops. Anyways, warning, this game contains surgical horror and body horror that some players may find disturbing, so I'm going to go that this game may be slightly disturbing. And I have no idea if, the other app that I was launching is going to wind up launching above this or not. Just give me a quick second to just close that out before it really gets started. If my task manager wants to go, it doesn't seem to be up, so I'm just not going to worry about it. So, let's, just get back into the game. It's about to begin again. Shh, I know. Well, how far do you think? Not very. Now keep quiet, would you? We're about to begin. Alright, tumble out. Looking for something? Maybe? Everything is black, but it feels thick, almost blankety. Complete darkness totally around you. All you can feel is a hard floor beneath your feet. It's smooth and polished. You're sure of that. The darkness can be felt against your skin, like it has a solid solidity to it in some way. There are no sounds or smells, but you feel if there were, they would have to work slightly harder to move through this velvet veil of blackness. You hear a lady with a soft, silky voice. Looking for something, darling? Wait, where am I? Remember. Oh, darling, you're back where, you've been before, but never happened to stay too long. You always seem to have your mind, made up and bags packed. Come to think of it, her voice does have this familiar feeling, in a way. Could this be a dream? What is your name? Why, hello there. Something comes into focus, almost pushing the darkness away. It's her, the voice. She's slumped in the chair, looking at you, almost as though she's watching you without any interest. Like she's seen a familiar face she knows all too well, almost completely knowing you. Emiliana's the name, darling. Nice to meet you. She smirks coyishly, as if knowing something you do not. Don't you want to know my name? Pleasure to meet you. May I call you Liana? I feel like I know you. It's so strange. Darling, you can call me whatever you like. It makes no difference. It makes no difference here. Names don't mean much. More the interactions do. She smiles flirtatiously. Names are so formal. She adds in a mystique way, almost as if cool breeze caught her words and drifted them away. Walk over to her? You walk over to her. This must be a dream. So that means I can do anything in here that I want. And I want her. You rip her shirt down, exposing her back as she turns away from you. You feel excitement surge through you. This is a bit creepy. Do you want me? She whispers. Her dreamy eyes look up at you as if she turns her head ever so gently. She raises herself in the seat. Her hips are luscious and red. Oh, her lips are luscious and red. You are sure you can smell her hair or her perfume scent. That is only a trace now, but you know it. You are familiar with it, or it to you. Lavender? Do you want me? She asks again. With a whisper, long breath, she inhales slowly and deeply, while arching her back, pushing herself, and resting on you. What's with these fucking sounds in the background? Holy shit. Her hands grip her loose shirt and dress at the waist. She is ready, waiting to take them off. I do, but this feels wrong. No, we should stop. Well, I feel like something bad is gonna happen if I say yes. So I feel like something bad is gonna happen if I say no as well. So, wrong. Stop. Don't you want me? Her eyes are filled with despair and fire. No, I want unmade sheets. I want to become flooded by your thunderstorm. I want your lies coiled around my body. I need your rage. I need your damned chaos. Do you hear me? She beats the chair and throws her head into her arms. She begins crying. I need to exist. I need to exist. I need to fucking exist or end it all. I can't go. Wow, this is a really annoying sound. Her voice calms and succumbs, defenseless, sobbing. Exist? She turns instantly to look at you, her makeup smeared and runny. Still looks beautiful, though. Possibly even more so at this very moment. She seems so innocent, helpless and truly exposed, honest. She covers herself and looks up at you. You both stare at each other in silence, and several stretched out moments. Exist? Yes, existence. You, I see now, I see you, and your reader. I see like the blind. Where I think I see, it's all a damned matter of interpretation, isn't it? Focusing on the unfocused. What's the matter? What do you mean? Talk to me. She makes no sense. Turn and leave her. Walk away. There's nothing here to help. Is she breaking fourth wall right now? Oh, that is a lot of text. My eyes are not awake enough for this. Well, she pauses, looking at you, studying your intent. She wipes her tears with a part in her shirt and sniffles while wiping her nose. She looks at you again, eyes wide open, like a lost child, you think. I've been having terrible dreams of late. I find myself in a state of perpetual sadness. On one hand, I do know where there's a luxury in thinking, in contemplating, but on the other hand, it never stops. I don't want it on my mind all the time. Do you know what it's like being the crumb that exists? Being the crumb that exists? She pauses for a moment, looking you up and down slowly. Then she seems to look beyond you, past you, outward towards the blackness behind you. No, I'm sure you wouldn't. Actually, darling, maybe you would, but definitely not the reader. The readers are something more than us. I'm, stretched and strained. Oh, darling, all I get are headaches. Headaches accompanied by anger and pain and time and the tragedy. Is it just a question of faith? Is there just a baker who decided to have this crumb here, me here, and decided to have me here, crumbling, captured in these questions? What a counterfactual idea of metaphysical nonsense. A girl with a mind to question the interactions of herself, a mind questioning its own mind. Oh, darling, a chain of drunk coincidence, maybe, questioning everything. She wipes her face with her hands and then stretched. My contacts are starting to get dry from keeping my eyes open for too long. And then stretched her fingers through her hair. It smoothly glides between her whitened knuckles. Her head tilts back, exposing her defined ridges, curves and lines of her face. Their smoothness becomes uncherished highways. You feel a sudden head rush, a lonely head rush with like passing a sign on a dark highway road, having become illuminated suddenly and then passed over, back onto the dark again just as abruptly. And I don't know why I just had a thing telling me I had apps updating, but okay. However, in your own vision, you are now the driver. For some reason, she is ghostly, transparent, almost as you can also see everything from her point of view or just above her. Maybe to the upper right of her head. As the sign emerges from the dark, a figure stands beside it. You are the one out there on the side of the road, standing next to the passing by sign, staring into the vehicle as it speeds past. You see yourself come into the headlight, then the red glow as its taillights bathe you as you are swallowed again. You continue to stare through the rear vision mirror as you return to where you are currently. Are we protruded pale knuckles gliding through silky black hair? Or is there a piece of us lost in here somewhere, you consider? Tell me, darling. Darling? I've never heard anyone use that word short for that. What does it even mean to exist? Especially in here, where nothing really happens ever. For example, you were to think of the word color, without, mercy or malice. You would get an... I gotta take this off. This is actually making me read a lot slower. You would get an explanation involving light. Light, darling, light. But of exist, you only ever get other words describing the same thing. Damned mirrors upon mirrors. Whole fucking place seems like it's stuck in the dark corner of a mirror. A dead spot in the reflection. But whose reflection am I stuck in? You think to yourself. Is it different for different people asking the same question? What of the readers? The ones who truly just visit and know the score, who after this just leave. Such freedom. Could it just be... Could it just be what it is and nothing more? Crystal clear? Just all in our minds? Just whatever is real. Maybe the readers have the same questions as us and aren't so different. Perhaps that's why they come. Amelia shifts in her... Ow. I might have hit the mic, but I'm not too sure. I also hurt my elbow. Amelia shifts in her chair and looks around as though checking whether or not there's anyone else around. She leans in towards you and her voice lowers to a more serious tone. Darling, how do we even tell what does exist and what does not? How do we protect ourselves from it and find the answers that are lost? Does existence require something to the effect something else? Does existence require something to affect something else? Is it, if it doesn't affect anything, does it not exist? Darling, would you require the need to create change on something no matter how slight or soft? Or at least resist itself because being changed by something else? She's staring past you again, not through you, but beyond you. So it's just being able to prevent change that otherwise would have taken effect, or create it that would have otherwise not happened like this. Do any of these options even matter? I think therefore I am. See? Like the blind. Well, it seems I may be onto something here, darling. So, something exists only when it is having an effect on something else. The effect upon effect upon effect. God, how long is this? Okay, it's not as long, but... She smirks with a look of accomplishment and lounges back in her chair, sedated, almost with achievement. No matter how minuscule the effect is, it still shows it to exist. Even where interaction... not interaction. intentionally creating all the options to lead to the same outcome. A compendium of effects merely affecting other effects, which then affect upon effect. So, darling, if I've then affected you just now, does that mean I exist just as much as you? Even for a split moment? Is that the true function, or exempt of my purpose? I guess, darling, it just may be. For now, that'll have to do. Maybe, darling, the real question is, how do I live? How do I live without you? How do we live? You, me, the reader, all of us. It just all could be one big coincidence, and the other difference is the degree of suffering. The greater the suffering, the smaller the coincidence. A flip side of fate, like an idea, like an atom bomb, like fiction pushing itself into a mind and gripping a slither of existence, trying to prove itself that it has a purpose and meaning. Darling, it all feels like it's fallen away. She smiles and looks directly at you. Do you think you're like me, wanting someone to be afraid of losing you, always finding yourself terrified of losing the others closest to you, doubting anyone could ever find to keep you around? What? Run. Okay, run. Was the last you heard her scream in your face. Before you could comprehend the situation, you were already running aimlessly into the darkness. As you ran, you were sure you heard her screaming. It came almost from nowhere. Then she just flipped out. Already being on edge, it shocked you into instant flight. Am I just running in circles or a straight line? What is my balance of sense of direction? Is slightly off and I'm doing a big circle. You stop, you stand still, hands on knees, panting, looking around into the darkness. Your saliva is wet and cold. You swallow some of it and it feels refreshing. Existence. You relax, abandoning the stiffness. Am I like her? In this place, I feel like I'm fading, not falling out of existence. I don't understand this place. The dark, a baker, crumbs, and readers. Her losing her fucking shit at me. Was she saving me, or just fucking scaring the shit out of me, just for shits and giggles? Fucking crazy-ass bitch. You stand chest out and taking deep breaths, trying to get the heart rate relaxing. But I do know there's no turning back. Shit, she scared the bejesus out of me. Move on into the darkness. Oh wow, how long is this? Like, how long is this game? It's already been like almost 20 minutes. You walk on for some time, mainly just listening and waving your arms before you in order not to walk face first into anything. But you notice this is starting to gain longer breaks between each arm wave. Like your brain is getting used to the fact that there is nothing in front of you. Every now and then, a bit of fear pops back into your mind that there could be a wall or a sudden drop in front of you. So you slow. Caution slows your movement, then relaxes again after some time. This is exhausting. You think to yourself. Then a light pulses dimly just ahead, like being lost at sea, and finally noticing the light emerging from a lighthouse after being misplaced at sea for days. The light offers hope, land, salvation. You move towards it, but slowly and cautiously with a serene calm. It could be exhaustion, or it could be precaution. It's too hard to tell. But one thing you already know is, in this place, sometimes the land can be more treacherous than a sea of blackness. Hey reader, yeah you, pick this option. Okay. Everything freezes, the character, the darkness. Even though it's dark, you feel it all become still. So still, in fact, that you seem to be here, but also out there. or in there, or more just where you happen to be at this very moment. Text and sounds, noises are all follows. The sounds carry themselves on, pre-recorded echoing of what was something before, but drifting on, letting go, ejecting you, making you once again aware of yourself and other surroundings. What self do I speak of? The voice inside of you, of course. Surroundings. Well, or where you are at this very moment. Quick, do me a favor. Look up and around. Okay? Oh, I wish I could see what you're seeing at this very moment. How cool it would be to have that ability, don't you think? But let's get back to that inner voice. You know, the one reading. Can you hear it? Have you ever studied it? Really? I mean, really listen to your voice? The truest narration of all happenings. Of fiction, but somewhere a solid world within your mind. Following letters to words to voices, to voice your voice and my words. I'm here where you are truly Seul, alone. That I now address, and it's important that you begin to listen to it more often, especially when it begins to wander off by itself. That's where the magic is, you know. Funny, I was Seul, alone when I wrote this, and I happened to just be listening as it began to wander, so I recorded what it said. But that was before. Who knows how long before, but now you have passed me with the present you. Don't worry, I'm merely a specter now. Words from a phantom, I wonder what I'm doing right now. The present me, if I'm still around even. Don't you wish you could tap in through this semi-connection we are having and be able to see what I am seeing in this very moment? How cool would that ability be to have, don't you think? Oh, well, here we go. Let's introduce ourselves. Let's introduce a voice, a character, another piece of the story, another fragment to unfold. Forgive me. No, you. Let's continue. 1, 2, 3. Hi. A whispery voice comes from the jet black surrounding you. You feel uncomfortable, like something slipped. It could have just been startle. God, I'm starting to get really tired of reading. Thinking as you stand, reflexes at the ready, looking every which way. Only that one light in the distance glows and hums, waiting and daring not to move a muscle, other than your head darting around with the upper torso falling fluidly, like a dancing cobra, emerging from a clay pot, defensively trying to cover all angles of potential attack. The light darts across and against the direction of your vision and peripheral, as if it is a firefly mixed with the straightened speed of a shooting star. It disappears as you look behind you, leaving streaked patterns to your vision, peering into the black wall at face-to-face distance. Don't worry, I'm not here to harm. I have no intention of that, nor do I trust you. The voice whispers. The voice sounds male, but weak and polite. I noticed you, and by the looks of the things, you're new here. Hard to pin down or locate at all, you stand at the ready. For some reason, you find yourself looking downwards, and a few feet ahead at waist height, as if this voice is coming from someone at a child's tallness. What do you want, then? You whisper back, having no reason to be whispering, but you do anyway. If I can just focus, just notice some movement or silhouette, I could size the thing up, and if it's small, like I'm thinking, I'm gonna grab the little fucker. Thinking, while peering as hard as possible, studying every patch of black your eyes lock onto. The corner of your vision can still see the twinkle of the light in the distance. I won't be staying long. Have to keep moving around here. Remember that, Wanderer. See, I noticed you were new, and you seem decent. It's a risk, but folks need help too, so that's a risk I'm willing to take. If it feels safe, that is. Where the actual fuck is this place? The voice feels less threatening after listening to you forget about trying to attack it. Still guarding, though, you wait for a response and quickly dart a look over to the light. There are some places out of here. In other places, even familiar places. A room in your home, even your own bedroom, wherever you are nested, with intimate and recognizable objects that you have decorated. Some with meaning, some for appeal, but nevertheless safe environment. Protective, sheltering you from the rest of the world, separating, or, God forbid, even the own prison if the circumstance fall in that direction. But solitary and confined behind those closed doors. Yeah, I wish for the life of me I could remember that for myself. Oh god. Okay, I was afraid it was gonna be super long. Another super crazy existential crisis. Lights on. There are still small areas within that very room that are pretty much all the time absent of light. Nooks, crannies, corners, underneaths and behinds. They hold dusty realms of forgotten things and undefinables. Lights off, as a familiar objects, every slightly reformed twist, just enough that they seem to become a little less known to you. A coat rack becomes a gaunt figure. Stretched shadows seem to be reaching forward. A picture on the wall holds faces of loved ones, but they seem somehow disfigured or conjoined. A pile of clothes becomes a small man sitting on a chair. This is when those small, ever-dark areas breach and reach out. Boundaries begin to fade, spreading outwardly, covering and invading what once was familiar. That ever dark, in the darkest center, is where Seul sits. Stare long enough, with patience and curiosity. As sleep begins to overpower you, you will see what I say is true as its doors hinges loosen and the locks undo. Seul opens up. Oh my god, that actually seems like... That actually, like, perfectly describes how it is when I try and sleep in a dark place. Because, I'm actually a nyctophobe, which means I have a fear of the dark. I have to have some minuscule light on just to be able to actually sleep. Because if I don't, I can start having a panic attack because I will just start seeing shit out in the darkness. Like, if I'm looking out into the hallway, like, even when I was living with my parents, we would always have, like, the stove light on, so if somebody wanted to go into the kitchen at night, they'd be able to see their way through. But, all the rest of the house was dark, so it would just be, like, this little orange light in the very background of a hallway, and then darkness all around it. And because I actually I'm actually near sight, or is it far sight? I can't see very far. So it's all just extremely blurry to me. So if I, like, stare out at that light for, like, or just the darkness, in fact, for just, like, a few seconds, all of a sudden the light just gets consumed by all this darkness, and it'll seem like the darkness is reaching into my room, and then it just gets really freaky, and it always really freaks me out. Alright, so I'm in... The voice cuts you off. I have helped with what I know. There is nothing more. You understand a little farther now. I've played my part. We may bump into each other again. Plus, I think you have a excuse me. You have a light you were planning on heading to. Sometimes you need to unfold all options to find more answers. Best of luck to you. Wait. Nothing as you stand there. Somehow, feeling the presence of the voice has already moved on, just as quickly as it came. Despondent, with no way to give chase, you turn your attention to the pulsing light and begin to meander towards it. Onwards. Okay. What the hell? As you move closer, you realize the light wasn't pulsing, at all, but swinging back and forth. Slowly coming to a standstill. It now just sits above a man with no arms, sitting on an old cane, sitting on an old cane. And wood chair. Oh, cane and wood chair. Okay. If I'd finished the sentence, I wouldn't have seemed so odd. He is staring right into your direction, but it seems as though there's been no notice of you yet. You are still in the darkness, just on the boundary of view. I know you're out there, he yells. Walk into the light, I guess? You step into the light. It feels surprisingly warm. For some reason, you smell menthol and mint. The man is breathing steadily. He still hasn't made eye contact with you yet. His head is slightly tilted, as if he is listening intently. You shuffle one of your feet to make a sound. He turns his head towards you. You realize he's... Yes, I am blind, he states, beating you to the thought as if he knew the shuffle of a foot was a test to the stranger before him. And armless, in case you didn't notice. A foxy smirk slips across his face, and his head juts upwards. He has a gentlemanly voice, young but stern. He seems in good mood, and you feel relaxed around him for some unknown reason. There are no walls around you, but the paneling of darkness has this way of making you feel as though, when stepping into the light, it's like stepping into another room with divisions. An inside and outside, the works, all the rules of physics a room comes with. Odd. You think to yourself, as you quickly glance at the surroundings. There's the cane chair he is sitting on, and the floor is a polished dark red wood with heavy grains across it. The deep yellow light bouncing off the floor gives the atmosphere of a thick wine red look to it all. It tans the man. He seems calm and cool, almost like a skin-toned brushstroke, all the center of a canvas completely monotoned with the warm red. His pants and the chair are almost the same shade as the floor. He almost looks like a torso, like a head floating in space. His pants are dark khaki, and is wearing blackish red boots. He's tall and gaunt. If he stood up, he would lurch over me, probably. Walking the darkness, I see. What brings you over to me? I see. What an odd thing to say. The darkness. Yes. Where is this place? Well, it's not dark in here, is it? For me, it's dark everywhere, but at different depths of gloom. In the nothingness, with a lot of something. Someone's and somewheres. I didn't invite you. You must be Drifter or Lost, or both. You better keep lost, Drifter, for everyone's sake. Never stop. Never become still. Becoming still isn't your part to play in here. It's not the way things work. But then again, rules are meant to be played by, till you question their existence. All I can say is don't leave the world here. There's no need to crash and burn. Who are you? Ha! What an absurd question to be asking. Okay. Ha. The name is First Lieutenant Bernard P. Turdhammer. But most people just call me Open Eyes. But you can call me Long Arms. Ha. I need an answer, stranger. Please help me. You notice his stature changed, and an air of seriousness fills the room. God, I'm getting so tired of reading. Even the light in the room seems slightly warm and darkened, adding a dense gloom as he leans back against his chair. Long and tall, chest and ribs exposed, lay bare. Human existence is lonely, he sighs and blindly stares at you. It's tasteless and dull, full of negativity. Subordinate sitting below that big fiery ball. Who gets to decide things? Anything. All things. And then decisions are made. Who gets to enforce it? Should I entail... Doggy? Should I entail surrendering all freedom? Is that the answer? Place ourselves on the decider's hands? The reader? Or in the baker's hands and hope the decider or the baker knows what's best for us. Why trust either of them? Ha! It's blind faith, the whole truth. It's blind faith in the whole truth. He shifts slightly, and you feel yourself do the same, like someone yawning across the room, and you, in turn, suddenly need to stretch your mouth. Maybe, thanks to duality, one did not actually come before the other, and one is therefore not stronger than the other. So maybe, just maybe, the decided possibly even existed before the decision was even grappled with. To begin with, if duality is the case, then they're all going to end up polarized in one extreme or the other. The cynics will lead towards the negative, the optimists leaning towards the positive. Really neither of them is more correct than the other. In fact, they are both equally incorrect. Oh my god. This is going on forever. I don't care about your moral judgment on the world. Oh, God. In fact, they are both equally incorrect. All they are really doing is playing favoritism games. If one recognizes the whole for what it is, then it is pain to see that getting caught up in either pole position is really not the place to be. He leans in, and although you know he is blind, you feel an odd sensation that he is staring right at you. Not just as you, but into you. You suddenly feel less comfortable, violated in some slight way, naked almost. So what of non-duality then? Well, it's foreign and not welcome as a concept to either of their extremists. Why? Because letting go of these attachments would mean a loss of identities. Yes. They are precious fucking conceited identities. So, why even stop and ponder then? Why contemplate issues that were bother to you? And never were bothered to you. God, why build castles in the air? Because this needs to be addressed in order to understand the order of here, the purpose, the answer, the darkness you find yourself in. And all that holds in here. This place we name Seul. All the baker has built, and the outside world, and the outside where the crumbs dwell. In Le Crumbs. From those fucking Lumina to Ridgely, the origin place, or over there. So many characters at play, so many answers to find. But I tell you this, Drifter, here, Seul, where this darkness sits, is really the connector, the key to all of them, the glue. Would you like to hear what the answer is? No, not really. I don't... I'm done. Done listening to that dude. Retreating to the bowels of the dark, you feel it cover you, submerged you in a black smudge, as the moment you truly do feel unconnected to everything except the black. A severed roamer, a vagabond, a drifter, an explorer, floating in displaced itself, of what I am somewhere else. Wandering the darkness seems to go on for a while. The black canvas begins to play tricks on you and on your perceptions, and even lacerate through thoughts at almost randomized moments. Sounds buzz by, but yet don't actually seem to be there. There seems to be something comforting in the negative space, though, something deeply safe, like a child hiding under a blanket from a monster. You notice you are just walking now, and any caution of walking into something has vanished along with the fear of what else could be out there in the dark in wait. One foot in front of the other, stepping forward onwards in what seems to be a straight line. You even stopped scanning your surroundings at this moment, as the glimmer of light would stand out like the sun after an eclipse. Photophobia, a symptom of abnormal intolerance to visual perception of light. Your eyes suddenly burst into pain. Like something onto the sun, they begin to force themselves closed. The sound of buzzing and of artificial lights turning on all at the exact same moment echoes through you. I was alone is all you can think as your eyes begin to cease burning and start to adjust, opening themselves, adjusting quicker than you expected. Everything in front of you is illuminated. A man's voice, a man sitting in front of you. Lumina Biero, a mouth left open, gaping. It looks just like a trash can. Suddenly it is dark again. In the pitch black, you can still see the negative silhouette of the room and the strange man sitting in the middle of the room. The brightest lit parts are left as green, orange to white imprints of what was there. All precautions and alertness have spiked through your being. You move forward with arms waving, eyes wide open, surveying for any glimpse of flicker of light, breath held, ears prick to any sound, heart pounding and racing, legs feeling shaky but agile. You move on, but in an entirely different fashion this time. Ready for what may come. Damn it. Damn this place and its non-rational shit. Tell me about it. You think as you move forward like an exposed lamb who wandered too far from the flock. Excuse me. And surrounding by wolves. In the fucking dead of night, everything and everyone here are unknown. So obscure, it's a constant threat. Everything is a threat here. Everything! You feel your chest tighten along with your fists. Your jaw clenches, and a panic is quickly turned to anger and frustration, then a determination. Your strides forward become more controlled, pushing out all your fear as it becomes replaced with resolve. This fuel won't last forever, but it feels good for a while as you move on. Lights! The fuel long gone and completely diffused. Just as desperation was beginning to invade, a light shines in the distance. Once again, you feel like a moth to a flame, and your body takes you toward it. You stop just before a group of interconnected tents. As you take a step closer, you look down, and the lights spread over and through the tips of the dark green grass, and so dense that the light seems only to blink at its surface. Like light trying to penetrate itself into the depths of a green lagoon. You squat down and run your hand over it. Warm. Its touch is soft and damp. Part of you just wants to lay down on it and rest. Squatting feels good too. Bending the knees and hips makes you realize how long you've been walking for. You look back up at the tents and read the sign overhanging the entrance. Electricity of the farm. Lumina Bière. Electricity. Surely it's connected. Fuck. You ponder as you take a deep breath and begin to stand. Your knees creak and feel rusty as you return yourself to the upright position you've spent much time in. Okay. The darkness invades again, even present, but in the not too far distance, you see the light, another path. You decide to head to it. The walk is quick, but somehow you feel within yourself that you have traveled a considerable distance from where you once were. As you approach, you hear sobbing, moving closer. I want to get out of here. I want to get out of here. You hear a female voice weakly say through the bouts of sobbing. You have walked to a solid wall. To your right is where the light and sobbing is originating from. Everywhere else in the darkness, so there is only one way to go. You turn the corner and there sits a lady of middle age, very still, and she seems to be looking at something. Across the room, hidden in the dark just as you left. You look over. There seems to be nothing there. Your focus switched back to the lady, who may just be in some sort of trance. Suddenly you hear the sobbing coming from behind her. A sobbing coming from just behind her. You step towards You step forward, now exposing your presence from the dark. Hello? You present yourself as to not shock her. She offers no response at all. You take another step looking at her. She still does not even flinch. You look at the door. The sobbing continues. Hello, lady. Excuse me. What is going on in here? This time, you were sure to speak louder. Still nothing. You shouldn't go in there. She is broken. You're too late, you know. A girl's voice, pronounces from the dark to the left of you. Spin to your left. What the fuck is your first thought? Oh my god. Purple shades over pink shades over yellow over green over black. Peggy is bruised beyond repair. The deformed girl speaks, and then has nothing more to say. She turns away from you, slowly within a ghostly plane of existence and reality. You look over to the lady sitting in the chair. Grief seems to have molested her face. She still offers no sign that you were there. Walk to the door and enter it. You move toward the door, walking past the sitting lady. As you brush past her, she whispers, "Forgive us for what we have done." You pause just past her. It isn't grief. It is regret that has taken her and controlled her. You think as a sense of urgency and worry embodies you. Open the door. You open the door, you suddenly feel out of place in time and space. A girl stands with her back and to you inside the black room, sobbing. Her disfigurement jolts you out of comprehension. For a brief moment, it merely burns up in your heart. Well, what have they done to you? You muster as your eyes fill with terrors, inspecting her wounds. It's a sickening mix of open wounds, some surgical, some not, and what seems to be skin grafts and treatments, only to be opened up again almost over and over. Grab her by the shoulder. You try to turn her to face you, but you cannot. It puzzles you as you then attempt to walk around her to see her face. No matter what you try, you are always left facing only the back of her head. You try all possible ways to get around her every attempt in vain. I feel like a ghost. I want to get out of here. Please, someone, anyone, help me. There is no happy ending. Most of who I was has died, but I am still here. Hello, I can help. Who are you? Are you okay? You realize how stupid the last part that question was. However, she does not stir, still obvious to you or intentionally ignoring you. I am sorry. I am not what you wanted. Some of us are just born with tragedy in our blood. Hey, excuse me. Do you need help? Again, the dumb questions. But this time, you make sure to have raised your voice. Still nothing. Am I just a mistake? This whole place is a fucking mistake. But you aren't. Nobody is a mistake. It's not the darkness that grabs me. It's the silence in here that grabs me around my throat. I cannot hide from my screaming thoughts. My head is so messed up, I feel it messing up. It's like trying to bite my own teeth. You turn to look behind you and around the room, nothing but... with a mist of darkness always at your shoulders, flutters of concern make their way through your stomach. The black seems darker than ever before. The darkness is terrible. Look at me, please. She continues, deaf to your plea. I used to think that death was like being blind and dumb, but still conscious. I realize that now that idea was silly and naive. No, this is something entirely different. Something far worse. Ooh, sounds like pretty music coming through here. Nope. It's not very pretty. Being dead would be a relief compared to this. What's your name? How did you end up here? It's so strange, so odd how torturous it all is. Unable to turn, unable to face anything, but I have inside myself, I swear it, I'm going to get more comfortable in this chair. Her voice heightened by her statement, through the hurt and tears, returns back down to the somber despair. Oh, it's changing. I'm not even the same me I was 5 minutes ago. Oh, same. How is it possible to change so much but not be able to change anything at all? I fucking hate that sound, oh my god. But I stay trapped in the same damned position, the same situation I left contemplating and feeling these fucking feelings. Her voice quivers to a breaking point. I just want to get out of here. Oh, fucking same, hun. I still find myself guarding my defenses. I can't help but keep building walls around nothing. I want to get out of here also. I am absolutely getting very fucking tired of this. I didn't bring any water in here with me unless this cup has no water. So I'm gonna just... because I'm getting really fucking tired of this story. Like, oh my god, it just drags on forever. My jaw is getting so tired. I've been reading, just reading, for nearly an hour. I barely ever read. Especially not aloud. Suddenly become truly aware of the absurdity of all this. Through it, you still want to help her, to not let her go through all of this. Something inside you wants to support her more than helping yourself. An absurd fucking hero, a labyrinth protecting myself so well that I can no longer find myself at... excuse me. At the center of it. I have grown a forest that is ever expanding and constantly thickening, pushing all inner light that I have left outwards. It's darker where myself sits than this whole place. I didn't even leave my crumbs to find my way back. The original pathway in and out has been obliterated with so many turns, so many backtracks, circles, shortcuts, scenic routes, overs, unders, insides, and inside outs. All I want to do is get out of here. So do I, but I need you to listen to me. Okay, I'm getting really tired of this. Blah, 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 blah. Ooh, that's rough. Ooh, that's rough. Finally she turns almost as though she heard something. And she's merely searching for something or someone to... Okay, fuck, I'm getting so tired. I'm getting so tired. Enlightened! You realize your tears could turn this whole place into a swamp, but the realization of what... Hold up. I gotta relax my jaw for a minute. Just, I am just really getting really tired. Enlightened, you realize your tears could turn this whole place into a swamp, but the realization of what you know now and what is left to figure out. You have a fire that will burn this entire shithole to ash. You stand life intensifies and rises within. The darkness becomes you once more, and you take a step back, and you take a new step. Seul, alone. I'm alive in here. I'm open wide in here. It is still all, incomplete. I'm the absurd hero in here. I'll take my time and bring this whole fucking place down to the ground. I'm Sisyphus in here. I know I'll never let it chain me, hold me, devour me. I welcome the darkness, not it, me. And I will avenge Peggy. The final fold. What the fuck? Okay, just like pulled itself to the very bottom. That was weird. We reach the final fold of the entree of Seul alone. The entree. Written and produced by Paranormal Games, this is a temporary ending. Thank you for partaking in this journey into the darkness. A special thank you to my wife and soulmate for your help, support, patience, and love. We is one. My two beautiful children who drive me crazier in all aspects of each day of my life, and it's the best type of crazy. Also, David O'Jonog, the Oracle, who always helps to find the answers we seek. My brother and the other half of Paranormal Games. Nothing is ever possible without you. Within the menu is an area titled From Us to You. If you have not already looked into it, please do. There is more information regarding our hopes and plans for Seul alone and its ever-expansive world. You can also check the store for prequels to this, which is free. Look for The Day Before. If you have enjoyed the journey, please share and support us. I have a lot more to unfold for you within Seul alone, the mains, plus other connections titled to IDLM. Take care, my friend. Be a good person, but never bother proving it. Cool! Okay, I'm gonna just exit. Oh, boy, that could have been a lot longer than I let it go on for, because I did skip a good portion of that. That was really long. I don't know if this game has any save points at all. I really don't know what previous Seul is. I think it's actually just opening up a page. Oh, shit! It was a save point. Oh, well, so I'm just a fucking idiot. So, I could have just saved at any point. Anywho, that was really long. I probably shouldn't have read the whole thing all at once, because that was a lot to digest. And I feel like it's giving me a bit of heartburn. Maybe if I just took it at small increments, it'd be a bit more enjoyable, but the long stretch of it is not as enjoyable. My eyes are tired, my throat is tired, my jaw is tired, and I am just ready to watch some fucking YouTube right now. Just watch something really stupid right now. But anyways, this has been quite a journey. If you guys, I'm not going to go and check out the other things, because, the game was actually, oh, whoops, oh, I could actually have changed that, I didn't even know. The game was actually given to me, I got a free code for it, but in actuality the game is like $3, so, I keep going to that, oops. So, if you guys want to go check those out, I would highly recommend going and buying the game to actually go and check out all the extra stuff, because it does seem pretty interesting, but, like, me just going through this, it really just wasn't really my cup of tea to, go through it all at once. I'm not a heavy reader, and this was just a lot of reading, and a lot of thinking, and also was kind of hard to read. I very much enjoyed how they, had a black background, white letters, that made it very easy for me to read, because it's very hard for me to read normal print. But also, just like the font actually made it kind of hard to read, because some of the letters are squished together. This is very, very tiring on my eyes to read that kind of shit, and the way this just keeps blinking like this, it also makes it very difficult to read shit. But, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sure most of you probably dropped off at the very beginning, and maybe you just kept coming back over and over. And if you did, that's cool. You kept giving me views. But, if you just skipped along, like I did in the story, then also, that's cool too. Welcome to the end, buddy. But, again, if you guys want to play this game for yourselves, it's $3. I'll leave a link to the description below. And you guys can check out the, other stuff in it as well. Play in the light. Oh, shit. Oh, that's harder on my eyes. That hurts my eyes. Okay. Anyways. And there's apparently other stories as well, so you can check those out. wherever the market for this is. I'm sure it's pretty much just on itch.io, and I think it's also on Steam, but not too sure. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a like, please share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. On your way out, this is Cyberwolf, signing off.